take a look at this problem. We want to solve x minus 3x equals 2. So x minus, not 3x, 3 over x equals 2. Now this is a rational equation, so we'll go through our steps for that. Specifically, it's going to give us a quadratic, which we'll see. Our first step is to get rid of parentheses, don't have any. Second step is to get rid of fractions. Multiply everything by the LCM of all your denominators. We only have one denominator, so that is our LCM. So we'll take x times x minus x times 3 over x equals x times 2. X times x is x squared. These x's are going to cancel. So we've got minus 3 is equal to x times 2 is 2x. Now step 3 is to solve, and this time it's a quadratic. So we're going to take the 2x and move it over, because we're eventually going to use the zero factor property. So we've got x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Even if you're going to use a quadratic formula, it still needs 0 by itself. Now this is a factor using the PST, because we have x squared x, no number in front of our x squared. PST, remember, we take the number at the end, ignoring signs. We come up with our 3 columns. We got 1 times 3, and that's it. That's the only product gives us 3. Then we add those. S for sum. 1 plus 3 is 4. D for difference, we subtract smaller from larger. 3 minus 1 is 2. Number we're looking for is a number in a middle term, which is 2, which is right here, which means I'm going to use 1 and 3. So I got x1, x3. Now our larger number in the p column we're using, which is the 3, will always be the same sign as the middle term, which in this problem is a negative. Now the number of circles in the difference column, D for different signs. So if this is negative, this one has to be positive. And now we can use the zero factor property. Zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equals 0. So I'll set x plus 1 equal to 0 and x minus 3 equal to 0, which gives us x equals negative 1 and x is equal to positive 3. Maybe. Remember, we have to semi-check our answers. We need to plug these back in, make sure they don't cause any denominator to equal 0. If I put negative 1 up here, well, that doesn't cause 0 in the denominator. If I put 3 up here, that doesn't cause any denominator to equal 0. So those would be our 2 answers for that problem.